Hi YouTube. So, question of the day, how do I become a freelance translator and a successful freelance translator in 2022? We're going to cover that in this video. So, one of the first things that I'm going to assume for you is that maybe you already have a university degree in translation. You might have an undergraduate degree in languages, linguistics, something like that. And I'm going to also assume that you're pretty good at that and you'd be happy doing that on a professional level. With that aside, I know that these days it can be really hard to break into the industry of translation, and I just like to share a few top tips with you that will hopefully help you on your way to become a successful freelance translator in the shortest amount of time possible. So if you find this video helpful, at the end please subscribe, and you'll get further videos like this that will also help. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those in the comments section and I'll get back to you. And who knows, if there's something specific for you you'd like me to make a video about relating to the translation industry or freelancing, please also let me know and I'll really consider your suggestions. So let's jump right in. I think the first place that I would start is your CV. So it's really easy, I think, to want to put every piece of experience in your life on your CV. And I would say just start off with a one-page CV, put all the most important relevant information. It's got to be a greatest hits tour of your life and your career, you know. I would say that a project manager or you know, the person that will be thinking about employing you is really not going to read all of your information. You know, I would say that when I get CVs, I probably spend, you know, honestly 10, 20 seconds maybe at most just glancing through, trying to answer the question, is this person reliable? Is this the kind of person that I want to work with? So keep it really short, you know, and I would say as well, how you present your CV is really important. It might even be worth you, you know, paying somebody a few pounds or a few dollars just to typeset or to graphic design your CV for you, and I think it will make a lot of positive results. Just because you've got to make a good first impression. And you know, it's not just about what you write but what it looks like. So I would really advise that. Word also has a number of good templates you can use for CVs. There are probably some tools online like Canva you can use as well. In terms of what you put on the CV, try to give, you know, an overall summary. The project manager will be interested in your education, where you come from, put your language pairs as well and make them really clear, because sometimes I get CVs where even that kind of basic information is hidden right at the bottom. Put rates in as well. I would advise that because that's something else that the PM is going to be looking for. And I would say highlight a few of the key projects or big achievements that you've had in your career. Don't spend a long time, you know, talking about I don't know, your theories of translation, or your perhaps, you know, achievements in, you know, in terms of you know, what you've done maybe outside of translating. Just try to keep it you know, as relevant and targeted as you can. So maybe you've got a couple of key projects you've worked on, try and summarize those. You know, talk about industries that you're connected in if you have a specialization. Keep it to one page, and also send it as a PDF. I don't know why, but it really gives a much better impression. And also, it's much harder for somebody to steal your data if you've got, you know, an uneditable PDF. So do that, and I think already you'll find that you have something that you can take to agencies or potential clients, and I think that that will be a really good place to start. So now you've got your CV together, what you need is somewhere that you can go and get jobs. So there are two places that I would recommend. One is pros.com, which is probably the largest online translator database and marketplace. I would recommend registering there. There's a lot of forums and other information that you'll find will really help. Make yourself a good profile on Pros. Have a look around on the site at what other freelancers are doing and try and copy a good one. You know, you can use HTML as well to make your profile stand out a little bit. If your first language is not English, I would recommend that you get somebody to proofread your profile, just so that that little introduction you have at the bottom reads really well and gives a good impression to those who might be employing you. So, in terms of getting jobs on Pros, you'll find that you can bid on jobs, and I would recommend doing this to start off with. And you might sometimes find that you open a job and you find that there are 50 freelancers who've already bid or made an offer and to get involved in the project. Maybe it seems like too many, but honestly I would say out of those 50, probably a solid 30 to 40 will be completely unsuitable for the job. I found, as somebody who outsources on Pros, that sometimes you'll get agencies, bidding where maybe I just wanted a freelancer. A lot of people that apply also might not have the right experience, language pairs, or might not come across as being very professional. So you can think that if you're going to be professional, which you are, with your great CV that you've already prepared, that you could already be in that top 10% and you might get picked. When you bid on a job on Pros, I would recommend to write a really good personalized introduction to the project manager. If you can find their name, please use that. That shows basically that you're not just generically applying to every job that you can find. Maybe even write something about the agency or the city where they are. I find that it's a really good hook to talk to people. People are really interested when you're interested in them. And if you're talking to an agency in Barcelona and you've been there, you might want to mention the best thing that you did in Barcelona, what you liked about it. And you'll find that's already an engagement with the project manager. Tell them why you'd be a good fit. Maybe mention some previous projects that you've been working on that are similar to that project. Put your rates in, any other information that they ask for as well. Make sure that you answer the questions. Send the reply and wait. I'm sure that, after a few goes, you'll find that you start getting work using this method. Also on Pros, you can use a paid account. I think it's about $100 a year. Basically, this raises you and puts you up in the database so that if a person or project manager searches for a specific translator in a specific pair, you will be put closer to the top if you've got a paid account. You can also answer questions on, that people ask related to language and other translation points that will also push you to the top. So, do that. The further you get to the top, the more you'll be directly contacted by agencies, which is a really good way to work. There's another site called Translatorscafe.com, which is very similar to Pros, but probably not as popular, so I would recommend getting a profile there. It's very similar, and I think that's also a really good way to start working. There are other more popular, or becoming more popular platforms out there, such as Fiverr and Upwork. I would honestly really not recommend working through these platforms. It's not something I've done personally, but my experience is that people work for very, very minimal rates. And it's a little bit of a wild west out there that, at least in Pros, you can usually see that people have translation degrees or relevant experience. With Fiverr, it's literally anybody. And I think it may be the same with Upwork. So I think you'll really struggle to find well-paid work through those platforms. And they're often oversaturated with unqualified freelancers. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But I would say probably stay away from those two. So hopefully that will help you in getting your first few jobs. A few other places I think that you can go are places like chambers of commerce. If you're a German to English translator, get on the German, the German Chamber of Commerce website, for the UK, and you might start to find some contacts. There might be events running where you can go and mingle and meet people that might need your services. Or you might be able to find an email list where you can start contacting people. So that's a good place to start. Another one that would probably be recommended is, getting involved on LinkedIn, trying to find people who might need your services. If you've had the fortunate experience of living abroad, you probably find this is a really good way to get contacts as well. I used to live in Moscow, and I found that people all the time would ask me, "Hey Mark, can you help me to translate my website? Can you help me with my CV?" And people still contact me to this day. And if you are living, in another country, that's also a really good way to get to events. I think you'll also find that work just starts rolling in, hopefully. So ultimately, I hope that those tips have helped you a little bit. The final thing that I would say, and my advice to new freelancers, is that ultimately you do need to be able to translate. That's really important. But nowadays it's as important, or maybe even more important, to be really good at marketing yourself. And if you are somebody who's good at making contacts, if you're good at getting an online presence that works, maybe even looking at making your own website that just basically states who you are, your translation pairs, it looks really professional. And the more that you can work on that, emailing agencies, going to events where you can find people that you'll work with and following up on contacts, that will probably be more or as important as what you do in the first place. So good luck, keep working out there. It's a grind. I think that it's quite common for freelance translators to spend 6 months to a year going from a place of, hey, I'm starting my career, to, oh great, now I've got full-time work. So it's something that you might want to consider combining with part-time work, or if you're still working a full-time job, to start freelancing, in the evening and weekends, and just watching that slowly build up. So basically, good luck. Any questions, let me know, and yeah, I'm sure you're going to be successful. So good luck with it.